Hi, guys.
Josh, just what's typically the biggest hurdle for rookie receivers to get over, and how confident are you in Bryan and Henry able to hit the ground running week one?
Well, part of it is that they say that, going to the pro level on game day, the environment, and maybe thankfully a little bit this year with no fans in this opener, that it'll feel like a scrimmage for them. So the biggest hurdle, I think, is game day and all the, you look at the distractions that are around later in the week on a game day, having to get tickets to your family and friends, deal with the crowd on the road. I think there's a lot of those situations they will not have to go through this year. So hopefully it'll feel like a scrimmage for those guys, but being prepared for just the enormity of a game day in the NFL.
Yeah, Greg, Jerry McDonald, John talked about yesterday about having a little bit of a setback with Marcus Mariota in terms of both the team and with him not having him available. But you've had Nathan Peterman around now for a while, and he should be pretty comfortable in the system. How do you feel about him being able to step in if need be?
Yeah, I think we mentioned last week, Jerry, Nate has, again, he's come in every day and he's just gotten better. And we talked about that. We would like all of our players just to be about constant and never-ending self-improvement and being the best version of yourself and just trying to get 10% better, every day. And Nate's done that. So, again, like you mentioned, he's been in the system now. He looks comfortable when he does go in and get the few reps that Derek gives him. But he looks comfortable in the system, and he's been great in meetings and he's been great in the practice field.
Hey, Greg, what have been some of your impressions of the Panthers defense? I know they have a lot of new pieces this year with all the rookies that they just drafted.
Obviously, it's difficult without any film to watch, without any preseason games, and they've gotten so many new faces on that side of the ball. But one thing is that they emphasize defense this year when they take every draft pick and they spend it on a defensive player. So that's been an emphasis in their building. We've tried to prepare for a lot of different looks and a lot of different coverages for this opening game, and thankfully we have a pretty much a veteran offensive group on our side of the ball that's been together. So we've tried to put them in a lot of different situations and kind of prepare for a little bit of everything, but follow your rules. And if we follow our rules, we feel like we'll be fine on Sunday.
Greg, video with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Going back to Henry and Bryan, does the play package change at all given their age and the experience, or do you feel like they're pretty much on top of where they need to be with the command of the offense?
As we said, we feel very good about both of those players. The game hadn't been too big for them. It's a credit to their college coaches and the college programs they came from. They played in front of big crowds, and like I said, they're not going to be playing in front of a big crowd, this season. But I think that their coaches prepared them very well in college for the next level, and we're fortunate that way. They've been very well coached as high school and college players, and we haven't had to hold back at all with those two guys.
Hi, Greg. Levi Damian, USA Today. Last time we spoke, you were saying that it was a pretty tight competition for the backup running back spot. I just wanted to know from your perspective what it came down to in the end.
Yeah, it's difficult without the preseason games. Again, to not get any live action makes the evaluation period even more difficult. But, when Theo Riddick became available and he came in and did some things that opened some eyes amongst the coaching staff. So he brought even more competition to that position, and again, that made it a little bit easier for us to make the trade with Lynn Bowden. But the running back room is still very competitive. Again, obviously Josh is the lead dog in that room, but we like what the other guys bring to the table.
Yeah, Greg, as a lot of teams in the NFL over the years have kind of gone to more spread and shotgun formations, John has always been pretty adamant that a staple will be having the quarterback under center and lining up, and doing things off that with play action and running the ball. I'm curious, why do you think he thinks that's so important? What do you see what does that do for an offense to have that be a part of it?
Again, I think a big part of it is being able to run the football, and that's always been a staple of John's in terms of his offensive philosophy. But it's he's also a big believer in multiple personnel groupings, and that has also proven to be a very successful recipe in the NFL. So, we've got multiple personnel groupings. We feel like we can throw a lot at a defense a lot of things that they need to prepare for that they won't have a chance to prepare for based on the number of personnel groupings that we can use. So that's just a philosophical for us, and that's something that John's had success in the past, and again, we will continue to have success in the future as we see it.
2 more questions, guys.
Yeah, we haven't seen Trent Brown a whole lot. We did see him out there practicing today. How comfortable are you with him being ready for the season opener?
He looks healthy. He looked good today, and that's all we can go on. But he looked good today. Thank you, guys.
Last one, Levi.
Oh,
Hi, Greg. I just wanted to just one more real quick. What did Devontae Booker do to distinguish himself in that group of running backs?
well, he did some. Obviously, we had game film of him in the past, and which was difficult. Again, when you try to find run plays for Theo Riddick in his past, and with Book in his, but there was also, we had a few scrimmages where we were able to evaluate these guys, but we liked his body of work, what he put on in the past, and then there's a number of things that we had in some of the drill work that we did in some of the run game situations that we put these guys in that we liked him. We liked his size, we liked the way he hit the hole, we thought he had a little bit more power. And we felt like that when we evaluated him in the first place to bring him in here, but we like the size and the power that he brings to the position. He gives you a little bit of a 1-2 punch behind Josh, and then we've got obviously Jalen and Theo are more of the third down wide receiver type back. So we like the combination of the 4 of those guys.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.